is exactly what we're seeing.
Yes, and so apologies for jumping right into this match. We kind of had to fix a little bit of a camera problem, and then it was time to start, so here we are.
But we're in it and excited for a good match here.
All right, so this is going to be hopefully not too one-sided of a matchup, because normally Hoopa's whole game plan is to stop EXs and GXs from attacking it. But Greninja, as we know, is full of non-EXs.
Yes. So it's going to be kind of an interesting back and forth here where the Greninja player's game plan is just really good against the Hoopa's game plan, but we're curious to see if the Hoopa has enough game to get back into this. But, yes, we see just both players just trying to set up. John's turn was kind of underwhelming. He played like a Froakie and some energy, and that was it. So Hunter seems to be actually in a really good position in this game so far.
An important thing to note is that Hunter also plays a Giratina promo.
Yes.
So that's going to stop Pokemon breaks from using abilities, and that's going to, if he can get that on the board, which it already is actually now that I look over and see, now that we've got the whole layout updated, he does already have that in place, so that's going to stop Johnang's abilities.
Yes.
From his Greninja breaks.
He can still get, like, the Shadow Stitchings and whatnot are still pretty good, and the Moonlight Slashes, like, deal a good chunk of damage. And I believe the Hoopas have lower, the Hoopas definitely have lower HP than the Greninjas.
For sure.
And especially if he evolves into the Greninja break, even though he doesn't get the ability, he still gets the HP buff, which changes the math a little bit for the Hoopa player to where the Greninja player might be able to out-tempo them if they can get set up. But with John not doing anything like anything on any of these turns, it's not looking good for him.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck here with a Tapu Fini in the active. We saw Tapu Fini be big for Joe Rudiger yesterday. But in this situation, it's not really doing much work here. He definitely wants to get some Greninjas set up.
Yes, absolutely, and that Froakie on the bench is just, it's not doing it.
No.
So he says, I'm going to Cynthia, we're going to draw some new cards, and hopefully these are better cards than what I've had. And that was a lot of Pokemon.
I see a lot of blue Pokemon in that hand. Staryu for sure. But hopefully some other basics that he needs to get his setup going.
And yeah, this looks almost identical to Joe Rodinger's list that we saw earlier, where you're running the one Espeon, the 1/1 Staryu Starmie line, the Tapu Fini, and one Lele. So just pretty standard for what we've been seeing over the last couple of weekends.
Seems like the ideal list players have decided upon for Greninja for this tournament, and it's working out pretty well. But in this case, I guess the only basic he had there was the Staryu and didn't have another Froakie. So that's a little unfortunate, and he just has to retreat and promote the Staryu and pass.
Yep. And Hunter just says, I'm going to start attaching energy to this active one. Maybe eventually I'll be able to swap it out. He does run a couple of float stones, so hitting a float stone here is pretty good. So he's going to try with a Cynthia and see if he can draw the right cards that he needs here. Instead, he says, I'm going to put a Fighting Fury Belt on it, and next turn I have this DCE, so we'll start hitting for 90, and we're going to take some knockouts starting next turn. See an Ultra Ball. Probably grabbing another Hoopa. Ooh, Tapu Koko. That also makes a lot of sense. With John having a slow start, the Tapu Koko might actually be able to damage spread really, really well, as well as it gives him a nice free retreater that if one of his Hoopas does get knocked out, he'll be able to promote the Tapu Koko while he kind of figures out what his game plan is for the turn.
Definitely. He has that fully powered up Hoopa on the bench ready to go, so he's just kind of waiting till he can come in and swing with that. And he's going to play a Cynthia.
Yeah. John just did nothing and then just passed. Like, his
that was
hand
so
is just
fast.
It looks like he has a bunch of Greninja. The Greninja breaks in his hand, but doesn't have any Frogadiers, which is brutal.
Or a supporter, apparently.
Yeah. Or maybe his only supporter is like a Sycamore and he can't discard all of his Greninjas. Like,
that might be the case.
It's rough. That water energy or splash energy is not going to do it. Oh, there we go.
I mean, this is good. He can water do anything except for you. And get some more Frogadier out of the deck.
All right, John's like, all right, I'm going to have a game now.
Yeah, finally he's back in the game a bit. I mean, his hand is still not amazing, but at least he's getting something going here against this
absolutely.
army of attacking Hoopas.
Yeah, John is up on prizes because the star went down already. So, he passes back after water duplicating. We see Hunter thinking for a minute, starts attaching some energies to his resource management Oranguru. Seen a lot of that this weekend, which it's an interesting card because it doesn't inherently give you card advantage from the get-go, but over the course of the game, you just get so much more resources back. You got to manage those resources.
Definitely is a good card, and we've been seeing a lot of it this weekend in a couple different decks.
Yeah. Pretty much every deck is running one or the other. And if they're not running Oranguru, they're running Octillery. And it's like, that's like you pick your choice of Oranguru, Octillery, and Zoroark. And if your deck isn't running one of those, you're probably doing it wrong.
Yeah, definitely a way to draw cards in the late game is proven to be very important. Otherwise, your deck's just going to run out of steam, and these decks right now, I feel like, need a lot of stuff to keep them going.
Yes, absolutely.
The board is not sustainable by itself.
We see John still not playing a supporter. He doesn't have any energy, so he's just going to retreat back to this Froakie and be like, Froakie, you're going to get sacrificed.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Doesn't look
really
good for him.
positive for John at this point. Yeah, it doesn't look great. And here's a Guzma from Hunter. Bring up that Finny? Tapu Finny?
Tapu Finny.
Tapu Finny, not Finny.
Semantics.
I know.
He's going to start damage spreading?
To
Is that the game plan?
It seems to be. Because he sees that John doesn't have any energy, he may not have a way
Yeah,
to
and if
retreat.
a couple attacks will actually set it up to be able to knock out two Froakies. The chances are he doesn't have any Frogadiers left. We actually do see one in his hand.
He just top decked an N as well.
Yeah.
So he's going to N Hunter down to 4.
Probably plays with the choice band anyway. There's no reason not to. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to draw that back. Definitely, he just wants to get energies and start attacking here.
Yeah. And John's gonna draw 6 cards here. Hunter's gonna grab 4.
So this gives John a little bit of a card advantage, at least at this point in the game. Maybe that can help him get back into it.
Because John is set up. He just hasn't had any energies to utilize his setup. And I don't think he drew an energy. Oh, no. There was one in the back. Okay.
There's
the very
one.
first card. I just didn't see it. Picked him up too quick.
Basic water. Not too sure what else he picked up there, but it's a shame that Staryu had to go down so early.
Yeah.
He would have been able to be fishing these energies out of the deck, possibly.
Yeah, would have much rather been able to get those energy stream just going early on, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
And what are we going to see here? He's attaching the energy to Tapu Fini. Just retreat and promote another Froakie. Passing and leaving inactive doesn't seem amazing.
Yeah.
He's gonna put up Greninja. All right, and another Guzma. I think that's back-to-back Guzma.
So good.
Hunter.
How many Guzma does Hunter run? Let's double check, because the numbers on Guzma can be all over the place. He is running 4 Guzma.
4, you have, so he's got them in his hand when he needs them. And bringing up a Froakie this time instead of the Fini again. So I think he just wants to continue taking prizes. Now he sees, well, now John has a hand. He has access to the rest of his deck. He has energies. So he's going to catch up. It looks like he might just be thinking about tossing those supporters back into the deck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, he's just going to go to resource management.
Get the resources back.
I'm going to need these later on. This game's going to go longer than I was expecting it to, so.
That makes sense, too.
That's a cool aspect of that card is that in the early game, you can be a little bit more aggressive with your Sycamores. Like, it looked like he shuffled in like 3 Sycamore, or put 3 Sycamores in there. Or Guzma's a Sycamore, so you can be more aggressive with this because you can just get them back, not a problem.
That's very true.
And yeah, if Hunter does draw another energy, he can actually just knock out the Froakie with the profound knowledge of Oranguru.
Yeah, couldn't see his hand, so I thought that might have been what he was going for, but not right now.
Yeah, we might see a bubble from the Froakie.
Oh my gosh.
Go for some coin flip paralyzed.
John has definitely been struggling this game.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
And Oranguru is paralyzed, so
Brutal.
that's a bubbleheads.
But we see Guzma in Hunter's hand, so he might just not care.
Back-to-back Guzma. This game is really in Hunter's hands at this point. He's kind of just deciding what he wants to attack at any given time. And John is definitely on the back foot. He's trying to try anything he can do to survive.
So Hunter has this parallel setting in his hand, and he keeps thinking about putting it down to put it down and then limit John's bench. So either option is valid here. But if he puts it limiting his bench, he gets rid of the Froakie, which he wants to pick off with the Tapu Koko. And he has to get the Finny in the active, or the Finny that's like a threat, or not a threat, but that's a liability for John, also goes away. But if he puts it the other way, he has to get rid of, to limit the damage that he's dealing, which is a good aspect of it in this matchup, because to just change the numbers of how many turns it'll take for knockouts, John has to get rid of 2 of his own Pokemon, and he has to keep his Giratina on the bench. He needs to keep at least one Hoopa on the bench, if not the second backup attacker. But then he loses his Rangaroos. So the Parallel City in his hand is actually super awkward.
Yeah, definitely. And Parallel City is a card that can be like that. It can ruin a game for you if you play it at the wrong moment.
Yep.
And
so he's been holding on to it for a couple of turns here.
He's going to retreat Finny and promote Froakie once again.
He says, knock out this Froakie. Don't take 2 prizes, please.
And he's going to try to... Is he going to bubble again?
Probably.
I would assume
Bubble is so good. I love bubbling people. When you get on bubble plans, you know you're winning.
They're discussing something. I'm not completely sure what it is.
They're not top 10 yet. They're doing 5 more rounds. I know.
And Hunter takes the knockout there. Starting to take those prizes now. Only has 2 more. I think that's a good move. I feel like he maybe could have started to go more aggressive a couple turns ago, but...
I don't know which prize I missed, but I missed one. Because it does appear that he only has 2 up there, so...
It might be 3. It's hard to tell. It might be off the camera.
Yeah.
Broken Hill.
We're in a Super Rod. I'm going to immediately grab this Staryu back, because we need to get this train going.
Exactly.
And then let's end.
Yeah, I think N
And then we can see exactly how many cards Hunter draws off this.
Probably
it's either
2
2 or 3. We think it's 2.
Oh, man.
The whole managing the stream overlay and watching the game. He has draw 3 cards.
3, okay. So there's one off screen now. Yeah. We should
That's
probably,
what I thought.
We should probably adjust it, the maths a little bit more for the next round.
4 match slips, 16 match slips. It's like, because there was 200-some tables, and you're like, all right, I'm anticipating 170.
This is such an awkward matchup.
Yep. You see Max Elixir? See if he hits a dark here. He does not.
Nope. No dark.
Lots of Max Elixir whiffs this weekend. Just lots of players playing 10, 11 energy to make sure they hit on it, and then still missing.
Yeah, that's very true. John finally has a Greninja break going.
Yep.
Finally, at this late stage in the game. So now Hunter has that to worry about. Yep. Okay, and we've seen N2, still only giving himself 3 cards.
How's it going?
It's 2 more than he did have. He could have instructed first, but he would have only drawn 1 card off the instruct because he didn't really want to rescue Stretcher here.
Not quite yet.
Reverse Valley is really good.
Valley. I think he had that in his hand previously, didn't he?
No, he had the
he had
Parallel
it in
City.
deck. Oh,
yeah.
When he shuffled, I saw it in deck. Still deciding to leave the Brooklyn Hill there, though. Not too sure what he's saving the reverse valley for.
Yep.
I mean, John can search out Starmie.
He says we're going to put a lot of
Can't
damage
search out Starmie.
on your Greninja and make you worried about it.
But Greninja has free retreat, so it can just go back to the bench and hide for a turn.
Yeah, and Greninja Break does have 170 HP. So, being at the 11 damage that it is, it will tank a lot of Tapu Koko hits on the bench.
Right.
I see a Nest Ball for another Hoopa. Wouldn't surprise me if we just see John kind of play out his hand here and then a Rangaroo.
Oh, you mean Hunter?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the reverse value. I like getting that out of the hand either way because you don't want to draw that back. So.
Right. We see the Guzma again. So you can actually Guzma up the Greninja Break or the Tapu Fini. And then get knockouts on whichever he prefers. Which, in all honesty, it's probably the Tapu Fini because John is never going to promote it.
That's true.
And if you take the 2 prizes, no matter what he promotes, it's a liability because one
That's very
prize,
true.
when all your things die to it.
Yes, and he does go for the Finny there, even though it puts him down to 1 prize, which is, of course, a little bit more awkward than 2 for future ends, but decides it's worth it because, as you said, he might as well take the opportunity while he can.
It looks like he's debating about resource managing here.
Does he have another energy in hand?
I'm unsure.
He might not even be able to knock. So, wait, Tapu Fini's doing... Or Tapu Koko is doing 50, yeah, so it should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't even
Okay.
see that over there.
Yeah. I saw him just move it over there.
Yeah.
But yes, okay.
I was going to say it, but he did look like he was about to resource manage it.
Yeah. Well, he was thinking about
But
it,
I think
and then
taking
he
the
just...
knockout would have been, like... Not taking the knockout would have been a mistake,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, because this just puts John in such an awkward position where literally all of his things just, except for now this new Greninja, just dies to the Hoopa. So if Hunter can just get an attack off on pretty much anything,
Right, and without the ability to use Water Shuriken, it's really tough for John's deck to get
get out.
enough damage to take knockouts efficiently.
and we see this Acerola in John's hand. He's thinking about, you know what, I don't want this to die. I want to conserve those energies. Well, let's start building up probably the Hoopa again.
Yeah, he has a lot of different options here. He has a lot of energy to work with.
And actually, damage spreading here is also pretty good. It lets him hit better numbers with his different things, and then it also just threatens like you have to kill this because otherwise your Starmie's gonna die. Depending on if he gets the evolution or not.
For having such a poor start, John is actually making the game pretty close, though. He just did nothing for so long in the beginning of the game, and he's still in
behind
it.
by the time he set up. Yeah, he's just gonna pick up his cards. He goes, okay, there's nothing I can do because he still
Just
had
was
6
trying to put a
prizes to
positive
take.
side
So
on it.
just yeah.
But he did kind of make it. He fought to come back
Yes, he
there
did.
in the end.
He very much made the effort. Just a little late. Had it been a turn or two
Probably
earlier,
a couple turns would have done it.
he probably would have had it. But unfortunately, whiffing energy, like by the time he had set up, he just didn't have energies because
Yeah,
he
he
wasn't
had
hitting any
nothing.
supporters and
Nothing.
needed a couple of turns to do that.
All right, so now they're setting up for a game 2. They have a decent amount of time left. John's going to get to go first. That's really going to help him setting up his stage 2s. So that extra turn is really important when you're playing a stage 2 deck.
Yeah, because it lets him evolve to a Frogadier and then immediately Water Duplicate on turn 2, and then you're so set up.
No basic from John, however.
Hunter does indeed have one, and the key to this matchup, I think, is Hunter hitting the Giratina, because if John is allowed to Water Shuriken at all, the numbers are just so bad for Hunter.
Yeah, he was able to find that promo very early in the game, last game. So hopefully he can find it again. And then, yeah, because John was never really able to do anything about that.
Probably grab your head judge. See what else to do with it.
Being by the judges' table, I get to hear all the problems.
Yep.
Oh my gosh,
man.
that's the third mulligan for John. So at this
John's
point,
really wanting to end on turn
yeah,
1.
he's got to be saying, "Oh, I'm looking for an N," which isn't like super ideal, but definitely good for him now. And he starts a basic. There we go. So Hunter takes his 3 extra cards. We see an Ace Rolla, double colorless, 2
Couple
Fighting
Fighting
Fury
belts. And
Coco start as well.
Coco
so
Start is also pretty good. With
Yeah.
a lot of pressure.
Nothing wrong with that.
Ooh, and that's not an N.
Oh my gosh.
So Hunter just gets to keep all of those extra
I'm
cards.
not sure if he has anything super good in that hand though.
No.
So it actually might not be that bad for John.
You know John's thinking it's bad, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know I would be thinking it's bad. I'm just like, oh, well, I didn't N him.
Gotta make the best out of the situation. See, Brooklyn Hill being very fast about searching the deck, not really taking the time to look at those prizes on the first search there. I think he, playing very fast, knows he doesn't have too much time to win 2 games.
Yeah.
Because he wants a win here. He doesn't want to tie.
He did go through the entire deck. He might have been counting just the Frogadiers, because that's usually all you
Yeah.
really want to count.
He's saying, I gotta
If you
play
need to go
fast.
fast, it's just,
Yeah.
how many of these do I have? How many can I pull out?
But yeah, Hunter's got the advantage here. A tie doesn't really help either of them, but it's better than a loss.
Yeah.
Always. Oh, Fighting Fury Belt and DC.
See the Orangaroo. I think that's an N on Hunter's side. He's going to choose Cynthia
Yeah,
instead,
yeah.
which makes sense.
Yeah, John's hand doesn't seem too strong after that Cynthia.
John can't really do much on turn 1, though, outside of just, I'm going to put a couple Frokies out and then attach some energies. And he didn't attach an energy, so ending him into energies could be a problem. Good old nest ball.
The pressure is on in this match. And we see the first Hoopa hit the field. But there's no Tapu Fini down for John this time.
Not this time.
So
not yet.
Hunter is not going to be able to abuse that strategy that helped him out last game. Oh, I thought he was going to whiff that, but he got the energy on the final card of the elixir there. I was like, do we see another elixir whiff? But nope, he managed to get it. And looks like a pretty good board state for him already.
Right.
Evo Soda, so we're going to see the water duplicates this turn, most likely.
Yeah.
If he gets
Let's
an
see
energy.
Cynthia. Yeah. Has to draw the energy first.
And he got the energy, so not sure what else is in his hand. A Greninja and the Tapu Fini, and it looks like a Sycamore, so that's a pretty good hand for next turn. He's going to go ahead and get an army of Frogadiers on the bench. 1, 2, 3. Nice. They're all in there. Not going to see a prized Frogadiers game.
Not this time. We got all of them. The squad is here.
Squad up. And Hunter's just kind of spreading out his energy just to make sure throughout the game that he has multiple attackers, because if he were to put all his eggs in one basket and that Pokemon or Hoopa were to get knocked out,
Yep.
as we saw that this game can go pretty long, and he's going to need many attackers. And yep, that was a Sycamore. Ooh, 2 Evo Sodas in that hand, it looks like. Wow.
It's pretty good.
That is a good hand. I'll have to get 2 Greninjas on the board right away. Yeah, it doesn't even bother shuffling. He's just going to go get the other one. And this game looks so much better for John
Yes.
than last game. He's got to be relieved.
Even with that, though, like, Hunter's not in a bad position. There's a lot of damage spread around. He attacks with Coco. He takes a prize off the Froakie. He pressures that Frogadier to basically be dead. a couple of the Greninjas start stacking up some damage that they're just going to die to a Hoopa attack now, to where they can't really attack unless they evolve into a break. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
the
also true.
Coco is very important.
Yeah, the Coco spread is definitely going to cause problems later on. And Hunter still hasn't found Greninja this game. Or not Greninja.
Giratina.
Giratina. Still has not found Giratina promo this game. So as soon as John does find those breaks, he might be able to use the ability. We have a Nest Ball.
And we see a Guzma bringing up the damaged Greninja, so that way we can knock it out with the Hoopa. He attaches the DCE because he had it already. He knew that game plan was there. Instructs for 1, draws the Nest Ball, plays the Nest Ball, gets a Resource Management Oranguru, and then takes the knockout for the first prize of the game.
Getting the first knockout in a game full of 1 prize knockouts is actually surprisingly pretty important.
Yes, it is. This is a game of trading 1 prizes back and forth.
Right.
Ooh, and we see Tapu Lele.
Yeah, that's
That is the other Tapu
that's
that
a
he
Lele.
runs. It
It's
is
a
not
Cynthia.
Finny. We know it's a different art. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have the rainbow Finny. So he gets a Cynthia. Just wants to refresh his hand, get some new options. Probably wants to get some
Especially
energy.
seeing
Yeah,
that
he's
last Nest Ball and that not grabbing the Giratina promo, it's possible that it is prized. So Hunter is. I want to take as many quick knockouts as I can. Hopefully, I can get it real quick.
Yeah, that might be the case. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Bring them up to the deck area. We will accept them.
So we see John just trying to set up a little bit more. He has a little bit more to go.
Yeah, because you've got to imagine that he would have gotten that Giratina if it was in the deck.
John says, "Wait, I think cards are upside down at the bottom," and so he shows the bottom. Nope, you're good. Okay.
What?
And he just finished shuffling, so no extra information or anything. So
Yeah.
totally fine there. We see an Ultra Ball for the Greninja break,
Oh, man.
which can start water shirking things. So
Yes.
this can start getting really poor for Hunter because that Kina is not on the battlefield yet.
Not here. Yeah, he definitely wants to find that out of the prizes now, if he can. But that's so good for John, and John just has to be like celebrating about the fact that there's no Tina on the board.
Yep. Hunter does run a Gladion, and so there is a good chance that, like, if he eventually draws it, which unfortunately he doesn't run like Tapu Koko, so he can't Ultra Ball or Tapu Lele, that one. Doesn't run Lele to find the Gladion to search his prizes and put it into his hand.
Yeah. So he's just gonna have to hope he kind of draws or instructs into it naturally. What if is it Gladion or Gladion? Gladion. What if Gladion or Gladion is prize and
And the Hoopa's prize?
and
That
the
would be
Hoopa's prize.
so unfortunate.
That would be unlucky.
We see Hunter saying, "I don't really have
And the-
much, so I'm gonna try to Guzma lock your Lele." Fortunately, he has the energy.
Yeah, John is in a dominant position this game for sure.
Yes, absolutely. We're probably gonna see some shadow stitching to make sure he can't instruct off the Oranguru.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets the 40 damage ready. And just kind of hoping Hunter stays in this low card hand size and can't do too much. I think that's 2 Acerola in hand
Yes.
and not much else.
You can do that
Not much
in the
else.
corner of the stage where you turned in your slips yesterday. So juniors and seniors, top 8 competitors.
We're gonna see some resource management.
Yeah. Just putting more supporters back into his deck to have a higher chance to draw them. The energy is also good. He's probably running out of it at this point.
In the slip area where you
This
turned
with the
in your
Perilous
match
City
slips
also.
yesterday.
It's pretty interesting.
Taking his time
Lot of
thinking about what he
choices,
wants.
yeah.
Yeah, lots of choices and just these matter because if he gets to the point where he
Crucial.
does draw a supporter and N, a Cynthia, shuffling and drawing those cards, you want to make sure that you're drawing cards you actually need, not
Right.
random stuff.
For sure. It's not too bad. He knows he's not going to top deck them because they're at the bottom of the deck, so...
Yep, and we see the Star Evolution come down.
Starmie. This will help John get an energy every single turn. A lot of swapping cards back and forth, looking at each other's
I want your discard. Well, I need 2 cards out of that. Here you go. I'm still looking.
You're giving those energies.
Yeah, we're gonna hit that for 60. We're gonna hit this one for 40.
The damage is just piling up.
See the Acerola. I think you just picked up a Sycamore.
I think maybe. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. You might as well play the hoop out of your hand. And then if he... Yeah, he didn't shuffle, so the Parallel City's still at the bottom. But had he drawn it, he could have got rid of the hoop that has damage on it. If he draws a DCE, he can attach the DCE and Profound Knowledge for 16 Confusion.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the worst. Special charge, put the other DCE back in the deck and shuffle it, so now the location of that energy is all mixed up. A lot of commotion going on.
Yep.
Apologize for all the background noise on the stream.
Makes it interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It's really fun. It's a fun experience. We're out in the middle of all the action, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
We get to see everything that
Literally
happens.
everything. It's great.
Yeah. Instead of being like secluded in a room somewhere, I suppose. A lot of distractions though. Gotta stay focused.
So we're doing deck checks, right?
So we see the Hoopa get sharkened down. John taking some prizes.
Yeah, I think this. I think we're gonna see a game 3.
Yeah. I'd be very surprised if John doesn't take this one.
Hunter's counting his deck though, so it's getting a little thin there. I kind of doubt he could stall long enough to manage a deck out, but I suppose if John keeps burning through his resources, it's technically possible.
Yeah, if he runs out of energy, it's possible for Hunter to actually Guzma lock the...
He can also
so he has to take out the Starmie and then just Guzma lock the Lele.
He can also... if he finds Giratina ever, he could chain Acerolas and never be able to be one-shot by John.
Right.
But he hasn't been able to find that so far, so... But that could be a plan if he does manage to grab it out of the prizes. Just shuffle the Acerolas back.
Yep.
Keep picking up the damaged Pokemon.
Over and over and over again.
What? You guys? Alexander has black one? Yep. Good.
Same with Guzma. He also has, I believe, an Acerola.
Oh, I just noticed, but I think we have the wrong round number. It's round 10.
Yes, we do.
Oops. There we go. Fixed. Alright, so now we're in the correct round. And, alright.
We're going to retreat. Joke's on you. I have more energy.
Yeah, because he was attempting that Guzma stall, but John could just pick up anything off the bench at this point. I think he has 4 prizes remaining.
I believe so.
So you can't hide from Water Shuriken. Can't go back to the bench, it's going to find you. But Hunter is still on the Guzma plan and bring that Starmie back up again. Yeah, and here we go. Put some more Pokemon back. With resource management. He's kind of given up on the taking prizes plan. At this point, I feel.
Yes.
He sees that he's not going to outdamage John. Oh yeah, that would make sense. 6-1-2 record.
Both players, couple of draws on both sides. I believe, actually, I think they're... I don't even think that's the record, right? Because they're...
They're 7-2 and 6-3. We had their records completely wrong. All right, first round, guys. First round. Sorry for all the errors. We'll get in the flow.
Kind of had to just jump right into
we
it.
did. I got here and it was just like, all right, let's go. Immediately.
Yeah, they were very
They
quick
were
to
ready.
start.
Yeah, they were on time. It was really great. So I think we're going to see another efficiently run event today, which is awesome. Back to the game. Hunter's really looking bleak on his side of the board here. He's going to Sycamore, see if there's anything he can pick up.
Yeah. And yeah, we just see John just taking a huge lead here.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it just the tides turned and John started taking prize every turn.
We're gonna super rod some stuff away.
Back on Rangaroo and 2 energy.
Yep. And then we're gonna max elixir. I want to put some energy on this Rangaroo. It's not gonna happen though.
No.
Not this time.
Player Hunter might want to consider going to a game 3 at this point, but he still has a plan. He has a strategy. Yeah, but since he isn't conceding and going to the next game, he might be aware that there is a small amount of time left and might want to tie here.
Yeah, it's something that's not like at 7-2, taking a draw isn't bad. For John, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not good for John. He wants to win.
A draw there actually sets him way back points-wise than everybody else. Like, a draw is almost equivalent to a loss at 6-3.
Yeah, exactly. And every point matters here. In the race for top 8, it's going to be very close. But yeah, I think this is probably just going to be the end. Not too much Hunter can do about it.
Yeah.
Trading card game juniors in the finals. If you were
But
in the
these
hall,
games have been
please
going very long,
drop off
so
your deck at the back side of the stage
Yep.
where you were turning in your match slips yesterday.
I just
I'm
think
gonna
they
super rod some
naturally
more.
would have a
Your
tough
deck
time getting
for
a
deck
full
check
game
this
3
morning.
in either way.
Yeah.
Juniors
At this
in the
point.
top
No, I agree.
8. Please drop off your decks on the back side of
So
the
you
stage.
put more energies back in the deck.
John's-
Super odd here.
Going through the motions. Says, he could have ace-rolled though.
Yeah. Yeah. Seppuku, Acerola. Yeah, just the lack of Tina promo this game, really, there wasn't too much you could do.
Yes, I realize they have the same amount of points, guys. Like, points-wise, but... the
Not
thing,
after this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if they draw, they will still technically have the same amount of points. But if John ever hits a loss,
Right.
like, it's tiebreaker-wise, it can really mess with things.
Right, because obviously a win is usually better than a tie either way.
Yeah.
Like, just resistance-wise. But in the end, you can get there with the ties, so
Yes.
just depends on how it all pans out,
Absolutely. And yeah, it's...
which we won't know till later.
Yep.
There's so many situations of people, players intentionally drawing last round or something, thinking that they're going to make top 8, and then they're the ones
Missing
that
it.
are on the bubble. They're
They
the
take
ones
9th and 10th.
that take 9th and 10th. Exactly.
Oh, those guys, okay. There's so many. But then all I can
Yeah,
think
they start setting up. No mulligans this game.
Yeah, wow. And
Good game, handshake.
update the game results there with the 1-1. They have just under 10 minutes. So both of them seem to be feeling the pressure here.
with the times. Or with the old times.
Thinking about benching that Tapu Fini because, like we saw, that is how Hunter won game 1. So, but it doesn't look like John. Does he have nothing else? He has a Greninja break. Is there a supporter in that hand? I see a Cynthia. Yeah, there's a Cynthia. So he's not going to brick this game. I think he maybe really wants to bench that Fini and just in case he doesn't get another Pokemon off of this Cynthia.
Yeah.
That would be disastrous.
Yes, it would.
That would be a horrible way to lose
Just
game 3.
didn't bench it and then
Yeah.
just have Hunter attach a DCE, knock out the
Yeah, that'd be
Froakie, game is
horrible.
over.
Even though it might be a liability later in the game, it
Yep.
just doesn't matter at this point. Gotta bench it. And I don't even think he did get another basic.
Yeah. And then we do have the top
Brooklyn
8
Hill,
of
you got a
the
Brooklyn Hill.
juniors and seniors starting. They only play a day 1, and then they cut to top 8 for day 2. So they didn't play it all today, but they played 4 and 7 rounds yesterday, I believe, respectively. So.
Yeah. Just a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was.
Yeah.
We have a pretty big little kids crowd.
Probably a lot of things, honestly.
All right, so he did get the Brooklyn Hill for the second Froakie, so
Yeah.
that is pretty crucial.
We're going to try to bubble you. Bubble does not work. Ooh, he picks up the DCE. Yeah, he just has a lot of resources in his hand and didn't want to discard them all to Sycamore.
Yeah,
He immediately grabs the Giratina from
Yeah,
him. He
it's
knows
not
how important
prized.
it is. It is not prized this game.
He's like
Hunter is in it.
so excited to grab
He's
that.
like, yes!
Here it is. Thank God.
We're going to Sycamore.
Yeah, he could actually win this game, and if he had conceded game 2 earlier,
Yeah.
he would have had more time to work with to win this game, but now he has to play very fast to try
Yeah,
to
he's
make
going.
up for it. And he sees that John has
Yeah.
a really weak start.
And he just lets him know, I'm taking this prize. I'm shuffling up. Pass. Go ahead. We don't have a lot of time. Pick it up.
Yep. And now maybe it's John who would prefer the tie. It's funny how things can change so quickly.
Ray Card Game Jr., if you're in the top cut, please come to the back of the stage where you were turning in match slip yesterday and turn in your deck for a deck check.
Yep. Tina's
We're
in.
missing 2.
Not looking good for John.
No, this could be over very fast. See what happens with this N. Got an Espeon, a Staryu. He cannot find these Froakies.
Oh,
that might be
man.
some sort of
Prized issue. 2 of them are prized or something.
There's an Ultra Ball in his hand though, so he can grab
He's going to
one.
Brooklyn Hill. We'll
And
start
a
with
Brooklyn
that.
Hill, so he can get 2. He's got an Ultra Ball and a Brooklyn Hill. If they're in there, there's one.
Do we know if he has an energy in his hand?
I think he does.
Okay. If he has an energy, he gets the Ultra Ball for Frogadier and then Water Dupe.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's very true. So he's shuffling up. Not sure why. He might be going back in there. He wants to take the time.
Yeah, no price cam this time, guys. Again, we're on a little bit of a low-budget stream. We're planning on doing this every year for you guys, though. So.
Oh, and an Evo Soda. That hand is stacked. That was a good hand.
Hopefully, we can improve it every single year.
Yeah, no, I think that you've been doing a really great job, and it's awesome that you kind of like volunteered to do this stream. And yeah,
Lots of time, lots of effort,
Yeah.
lots of stuff going into it to bring this to you guys, and lots of positive feedback so far.
And I hope you guys like my layout. I made it. I contributed.
Yep,
I
that is
helped.
great.
I helped. But all right.
Throwing cards. See him setting up the second Hoopa.
So fast. Those Frogadiers haven't even hit the board yet, and Hunter's taking his prize. Wow, this is probably the fastest game of Pokemon I've ever seen.
They're flying.
Yeah. The pace, I mean. Next year, prize cams.
Yeah, next year, if we can, we'll try to get prize cams. It's kind of spending to get 2 more cameras to do things.
Prize cams kind of hard, really tough.
Any donations will help. We'll definitely all go back towards into the stream.
You should,
guys
like,
are welcome to.
appreciate when they do have prize cams, because that's really hard to set up.
It is very hard to set up. You have to figure out how to
If you get like a clear table, and then you have to
clear
put the camera
tables,
under it.
or sometimes you see cutouts where people will use a mirror
Oh yeah.
to where you just point it
You
into
put a
like a
mirror.
hole, and the mirror will go up with like
Very
plexiglass
fancy.
and stuff, like
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
All right, so both players trying to take prizes just as fast as they can, and because there's a chance for both of them to win this game, honestly.
Please report to the stage.
The Teen and promo makes it really tough for John, though. So I gotta say,
No, he didn't double attach. He attached an energy and a Fighting Fury belt at the same
Yeah.
time. And then Max Elixir as well for
Yeah.
the other energy attachment. So he's good, guys. Not this time.
Yep.
Nice try, Twitch chat. We had this all happen yesterday.
No double attach here. But we don't have a table judge today again. So, but these players are all.
Right. We'll probably get one for round 11 because right now a large portion of the judges are doing deck checks for the juniors and seniors top 8. So a lot of hands are on deck to just get the tournament going.
Yeah.
And then once that's going, we'll be able to pull one.
Well, this game is just getting intense, though, so we should focus on that.
Yeah, no, it's
It's actually intense over here.
it's actually a good one. Going back and forth, both players pretty much set up at this point and just trying to execute their game plan. We see John having a Greninja break, has some water energies, but can't water shuriken. Greninja being back breaking.
Back-breaking. Break. Yeah, man, this is rough. 3 minutes left. I'm just kind of waiting to see if Hunter can manage to close it out in 3 minutes, honestly, is what we're looking for here.
Yep. We see the rescue stretcher. We're going to shuffle in an entire Greninja line. I want it all back.
Yeah, but he isn't playing slow. He's definitely doing all of his actions in the appropriate amount of time. Not really slow playing here, just definitely using all of his actions that he has the ability to use, which, not against the rules. He's not going to concede. It's only 2 minutes left.
Yeah. And again, the time is approximate, so when we hit
it might be slightly off.
Yeah, it might be off, give or take a minute or two. But we're trying as best we can to start it. But we do not have the official time start, so when the judge clicks the button to start, that is not when necessarily we hit the button to start the timer. So it will be close.
Yeah, we're kind of just approximating the timer over here. They yell start, we hit go.
Yep. We're gonna Guzma up the Frogadier. We're gonna take it out. And I want more prizes as quick as I can.
Yeah,
Says
Hunter sees the game. It's like within his sights to win. John's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Hunter's
And we do see the
got
Tapu Fini
promo.
down, so as well, that's a 2 prize liability.
Yeah, but he can't really one-shot it, so he's gonna probably try to pick off these smaller basics. But of course, John is probably not going to bench anymore at this point. And he probably wants to get that Froakie. But I see him going for a Staryu. Not sure what's going on here. Having some sort of debate. And then Hunter's also going to have the +3 turns to work with, so
Yeah.
this is
They're discussing something.
taking up their time here. Yeah, I'm not too sure what they're talking about, honestly. Some sort of problem.
They're a judge or something over there trying to take a peek.
Yeah. Yeah, some judges are walking over to the area.
Daniel Roses.
Look like what? A judge.
Trading card junior, Daniel Roses. Please report to the stage where you dropped off your deck.
I think there might have been a judge over there.
So John keeps pointing to his discard. Kind of want to go investigate.
Yeah, I think one of them called the judge over. So they're discussing with the judge.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably Hunter calling for potential slow play things.
It's possible, although technically John
It's
didn't
technically
do
not.
anything.
He's not doing
wrong.
anything wrong outside of
Taking
for the
unnecessary
entire,
actions.
Right, taking unnecessary actions and shuffling in between every single thing that he wasn't doing the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So it is something to be mindful of.
It's possible. Yeah, they.
Yeah, and they might get a small time extension here.
Yeah, but there wasn't a judge there watching it because we didn't have a stream table judge again. But I think that we might be a little understaffed here judge-wise at this event, which, if so, they're doing a great job working with what they've got.
Having no concept how to play the game except for this game.
All right, we're going to go check out what's happening here.
Yep.